people? It's your boy Brandon Brevon Towns, host of that show called Sports Plus Life. You heard me? You already know what's going down today. So turn it off, turn it all the way off. Yeah. What's good, people? Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Brandon Brevon Towns, and this is Sports Plus Life, that show where we talk about them hot sports topics that need to be discussed. Now, listen, if you are a first-time listener, don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button. Don't hesitate to leave any questions, comments, or concerns in the comment box. I will hit you back. I will hit you back personally. You dig? But, how is everybody doing today? You know, I'm going to get down to business, but how is everybody doing today? This is a late night. Of course, you know, if you're a subscriber, all my posts come up late. I'm going to do what I can to fix that. I know I need to get them shits in the daytime when people, you know, is actually more inclined to listen. But anyway, I hope everybody's doing good, doing great, having a wonderful Saturday. The weather was lovely here in Richmond, VA. I think it got into the 60s. Even though I was out there with Amazon slanging them packages, it still felt good. But everybody know, you know, everybody know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know what day it is. And if you don't, it is Saturday, December the 28th, 2019. Okay. All right, I hope everybody had a very good Christmas. You know, I had me a very good Christmas. I just was telling people all day, Merry Christmas, dog. You know, it's really that simple, Merry Christmas, dog. So, I just hope everybody, honestly, had a wonderful day, a wonderful, safe day. Hope everybody enjoyed their families. And, yeah. So, you know, with that being said, let's get to it. All right, first things first, I'm going to give you an update. The college football playoff has kicked off today, and the first game is going on right now as we speak. If you have not tuned into the first game yet, there's no need to. Okay? This game is absolutely over. It's between number 1 seeded LSU and the number 4 seed Oklahoma Sooners. The Oklahoma Sooners are getting ramrodded in a way that cannot possibly be pleasurable. They are getting absolutely embarrassed. The LSU Tigers are beating the living hell out of the Oklahoma Sooners. It was just more than 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. LSU has 56 points. God damn! It is 56-14 LSU.
I think it's over.
Joe Burrow, the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, has thrown for 455 yards, 7 touchdowns, and has rushed for a touchdown and 2.5 quarters. What the fuck
Biatch.
does the word defense mean to the Oklahoma Sooners? I have an answer for you. Nothing. I mean, you have got to be kidding me. It was 49-14 at halftime. 49-14. 49-14.
Oh, hell no.
This is humiliating. And we're talking about Lincoln Riley being an NFL coach? Yeah, I could see maybe Lincoln Riley being an offensive coordinator. Because a head coach's job is to pay attention to both sides of the ball, not just offense. Because this is the third straight year that the Oklahoma Sooners have been to the college football playoffs, and each year it's gotten worse for them. The fact is that Oklahoma has no defense whatsoever. It's like they don't coach defense. They put guys out there, assign them the defensive positions, and it seems like they just say, all right, do what you do. Make a play. Seems like there is no scheme. Oklahoma's defense is trash. They were 2 years ago in 2017 when Baker Mayfield was a quarterback, and they had a great college football semifinal game against Georgia. Great game. They lost it, but it was a great game. Last year they got humiliated for the better parts of 3 quarters or 2.5 quarters against Alabama with Kyler Murray. Came back, made it interesting, but still lost by a couple of scores. Tonight, they are just getting the hell kicked out of them. No defense whatsoever. None. I posted on Facebook, good Lord, LSU is going to score 100 points. And I want to say I feel bad for Jalen Hurts because, of course, he's a transfer. He's a transfer from Alabama who started in 3 national championship games for eventually being benched in the 3rd one for Tua Tagovailoa, who came back to win that championship game in 2017 against Georgia. The rest is history. Jalen made a cameo in the SEC championship game, saved the day, but the rest has really been history. So he transferred, and nobody at Alabama could get mad at him. He wasn't the starter anymore. He had a year of eligibility left. He went to the quarterback guru coach, Lincoln Riley in Oklahoma, who had coached the last 2 Heisman winners in Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray. And Lincoln Riley, basically took the training wheels off of Jalen Hurts, and he became a player that we never saw at Alabama. I would say that Jalen Hurts, the early part of the season in college football, was the front runner to win the Heisman Trophy. I mean, he was absolutely balling. But again, Oklahoma does not pride itself on defense at all. Not one bit. And I think that's a testimony to Jalen Hurts. That's a testament to Jalen Hurts for getting this team to the college football playoffs with that awful defense. Because when he was with Alabama, they always had a great defense. The bullish running backs, Derrick Henry, T.J. Yeldon, that they could rely on, and they played so safe. They made him play so safe. But I mean, they are getting humiliated now. LSU, of course, is playing with a heavy heart, unfortunately, because they're the daughter-in-law of their offensive coordinator, her name was Carly McCord, died today in a plane crash headed to Atlanta, headed to the game. She was a reporter for LSU. She was only 34 years old. And it's just, she was among 5 that was dead in a plane crash. And they just found out maybe a couple hours before kickoff. And, everybody's wondering how the offensive coordinator's doing. That was his daughter-in-law. What about his son? The young lady's husband. So that, I mean, and of course, I believe, they're playing with heavy hearts, and thus, in athletics, when you're playing with heavy hearts, it intends to inspire you, and you go just that much harder because you have inspiration. We're winning this one for said person, and it's just a tragedy. Our thoughts and prayers go out to her loved ones. Carly McCord, unfortunately, dies in a plane crash at the age of just 34 years old. And LSU is showing a lot of heart. Now, this does not excuse Oklahoma's piss-ass defense. I'm going to be honest with you. But what I will say is this. Don't fall in the fool's gold now because, LSU is going to be, basically making LSU a prohibitive favorite against the winner of either Clemson or Ohio State, because they're having this great performance, 1, playing with inspiration, and 2, playing a team with a sorry defense. I could put my son out there and he would accidentally make more plays than they do on purpose. But again, what do you say? I mean, the score is 6:25 in the third quarter. It is 56-14. I want to see LSU try to get 100. I do. The touchdown record for most touchdowns thrown in the NCAA game, 1990, David Klingler had 11. I want to see Joe Burrow go for it. Get 12. They can't stop you. They can't do nothing about it. I mean, they really can't. They are having a field day. Justin Jefferson, 11 receptions, 206 yards, 4 touchdowns. Thaddeus Moss, the son of Randy, 4 receptions, 99 yards, a touchdown. Terrence Marshall, 6 receptions, 80 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jamar Chase, the Biletnikoff winner for the best wide receiver in the country. 2 catches, 61 yards. He is having a field day. They can't stop him. So, hey, I don't call it running it up. Motherfucker, if you want to stop me, if you want me to stop, then stop me. That simple. But I think Clemson and Ohio State is going to be an epic game. I'm going with Clemson. I think Clemson is going to win the whole thing. They have not lost a game since the college football playoff semifinals in 2017 to Alabama. That was when Kelly Bryant was the quarterback. They are on a 28-game win streak. I think the Tigers will reach their win streak to 30 en route to raising up their second straight national championship and third in 5 years, as we will have officially entered the Dabo Swinney era in college football. Now, all right, so that's all for good old college football. Let me switch topics to the NBA. Everybody was hyped up. Everybody was ready for the big Krumma Day matchup between the Clippers and the Lakers. Didn't disappoint. It was a great game. But unfortunately for me as a Laker fan, the result that I thought was going to happen happened. God damn it! I have said this, haven't really dove deep into basketball yet, but I have one thing that I have said: the Clippers are better than the Lakers. The Lakers may have the better record because the Clippers do all that load management, which I think is a damn a disgrace. I mean, I like Kawhi Leonard, but he is cheating the league, personally. He's really cheating the league. He's cheating the fans. But be that as it may, when both rosters are filled up from head to toe, the Clippers are better, man. The Clippers are better. Kawhi dropped 35 points. Anthony Davis had 24. LeBron had 23. Maybe that was reverse. But the Clippers are just a mentally tough team. We saw the play that happened with LeBron James and Patrick Beverley at the end. It's a great defensive play. I hear people saying, "Oh, it should have been the Lakers' ball," because look, man, they want to do away with instant replay because you didn't like the call that happened. The ball clearly went off of LeBron's hands last. They bring in instant replay to get the shit right, and it was a correct call to make. Patrick Beverley is a bulldog. I would take him on my team any day because he's small in stature, but he got hurt and won't back down from nobody. That final possession, LeBron got the ball. Patrick Beverley like, no, come on. You got me by 8 inches. You got me probably by about 8 inches and 80 pounds. Come on, nigga. Let's go. Biatch. And made the defensive play of the game. Now, with that being said, LeBron James, they said he kind of re-aggravated that groin injury that happened coincidentally last Christmas against Golden State. Said it flared up when Patrick Beverley drove the lane and kind of kneed him below the belt. I saw the play. It should have been a charge. And, yeah, that looked like it hurt. So they're saying, LeBron could potentially miss games. Well, I mean, the Lakers have lost 4 straight. I don't know. Did they play last night? Oh, Oklahoma scored again. I'll be damned. Well, no, they can score points. Never said they couldn't score points. They just can't stop a nosebleed. They can't stop a nosebleed. They can't stop a faucet of running water with the lever in their goddamn hands. That's how pathetic their defense is. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Let's see. Did the Lakers play last night? I just know that after the Lakers lost to the Clippers, the Lakers had lost 4 straight. They had just lost 4 in a row. At one time, they were 24-3. Then they were 24-7. I believe the Clippers were just a game. The Clippers were just a game behind them. No, the Lakers did not play last night. So if LeBron has to miss time, it's interesting. The Lakers, it's very interesting. The Lakers play Portland tonight. And it's a game that they need to win. Pretty much the Christmas Day games were a lot of upsets. Outside of Boston winning their game, outside of Boston beating Toronto, but the 76ers blew out the Bucks. That's the worst I've seen the Bucks look all season. Golden State shocked Houston, which was funny because Golden State has gone from Titan to bottom feeder. Yeah, well, when Draymond Green, as much as I love him, if he is your best player on the team, he got problems. But, I mean, no Steph, no Clay, no way. And, of course, the Clippers beat the Lakers, and the Pelicans beat the Denver Nuggets, and the Nuggets were red hot. And that was pretty much a shock because the Pelicans, who have not had Zion Williams all year, I tried to tell you people that Zion Williamson, boy, ain't in shape. I don't think he's built to last unless he loses about 30 to 35, 40 pounds. And they have been awful. The Pelicans are 9-23. They stink. The trade is not working out as far as Lonzo Ball is going. Brandon Ingram should be an all-star. They're looking to shop Drew Holiday, but Zion Williamson originally, when this injury happened, I want to say in the beginning of October, they said middle of October, they said it was a 6-week injury. It's about to be January. You ain't seen him. You know why? Because he's not in shape. He's fat. That's what I'm trying to tell everybody. He is an electrifying jumper, dunker of the basketball, but he's not in shape. He's fat.
Oh, your fat ass
When
don't
you
put
are
on my
6'6",
no
you
more.
should not be 285 pounds for the umpteenth time. Get your fat ass in the gym and lose about 40 pounds so you can have the NBA career that you and everybody else hopes for you to have. All of that swamp baby fat crashing on those knees every time you want to go posterize somebody ain't no good. You will be done by the time you are 27 years old. And you'll be in the big three by the time you're 30 if you don't get in shape.
Oh, your fat ass don't come on my house no more.
Excuse me as I sip my soda. I'm sure somebody spit in. I feel like I'm on fire right now. But really, that's really all I have to talk about for the NBA. It's getting real now. The number one seed, the best record is the Milwaukee Bucks. Everybody is saying Lakers, Clippers. Do not sleep on the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks can win the NBA title, period. They can do it. There's no joke. It is no joke. The way the West is looking right now, Lakers are number 1, Nuggets are number 2. The Clippers are number 3 by a half game. Houston is number 4. Dallas is number 5. Utah is number 6. They've kind of underachieved. Oklahoma City, they've kind of overachieved in a lot of people's eyes. Not mine, because Chris Paul playing with a roster like this where he is without question the alpha dog. His teams tend to overachieve. They ain't winning no championship, but they tend to overachieve. Nobody was really expecting any type of playoffs or anything from Oklahoma City this season, so I think they can make it. And the 8th seed is Portland, who's definitely underachieved. Portland was in the Western Finals last year. Yeah, I mean, Lillard, what's going on? McCollum, the best player on Portland, honestly, the most consistent player has been Carmelo Anthony, and he hasn't even been there the whole season. And that's real talk. Not saying he's the best player. He's been the most consistent player on Portland all season long. So I will get off the NBA, and now I will hop into the NFL. Because the last time I was here, me and Sean were just so busy clowning the Dallas Cowboys and heaping praise to the Philadelphia Eagles, we did not make picks. We did not make picks for the upcoming games on Sunday. So in a nutshell, that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to do this solo tonight. No biggie. And it's going to be kind of peculiar because there are going to be a lot of games that really just don't matter, and there are going to be some results from early games that affect late games. So just allow me to explain. The first game, the Jets at Buffalo. Buffalo has no reason to play any starters or anything like that because there's no chance on them improving their seed. They're going to be the number 5 seed no matter what. So I seriously doubt you see Josh Allen or Singletary or Cole Beasley or anything like that. And honestly, it's a home game. I see the Jets winning because the Jets have no reason to not play Sam Darnold and Le'Veon Bell. They're not going to play again until next September. And then the next game, another game that totally does not matter, the Cleveland Browns at the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati's locked up that top draft pick, which everybody's saying is going to be Joe Burrow from LSU. Freddie Kitchens, this is probably his last game. It should be his last game. Is this Odell Beckham's last game as a Cleveland Brown? We don't know. The next show I'm going to do a topic of NFL's most disappointing teams, and Cleveland's going to be on there. I guess for stats' sake, I'll say Cleveland will win this game. They'll finish this season 7-9 like last season. The next game, there are some seeding implications. Green Bay goes to Detroit. Now, Green Bay handled business Monday night. If they win, they clinched the NFC North. Great defensive performance against the Vikings. Now, should they win and the 49ers lose or the Saints lose, it's a couple of scenarios, but Green Bay has the chance of finishing number 1. And the Packers have been a team that not a lot of people have talked about. I've said this before. This season with Green Bay is eerily similar to the 2015 Denver Broncos. My Broncos, which went on to win the Super Bowl, because they just weren't taken seriously, even though they had good players. They had a Hall of Fame quarterback who at that time was a shell of himself. But Green Bay doesn't have Denver's 2015 defense, but they have a hell of a defense. And and Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers. There's no question in that. But this is crazy because if you're a fan of an opposing NFL team, do you fear the Packers if they have home field advantage? Me personally, I don't. To me, the legend of Lambeau was ripped out a long time ago. It started with Michael Vick. And Michael Vick has won in Lambeau. Culpepper has won in Lambeau. Good God almighty. Eli's won in Lambeau twice. Colin Kaepernick has won in Lambeau. And these are playoff games. So, but, this feels like a different Packers team because they have a defense and a running game. Aaron Jones is something special. Next game. Seeding very important. The Chargers, who have been one of the NFL's most disappointing teams, they're at Arrowhead Stadium to play a Kansas City Chiefs team. Now, let me tell you something. The Kansas City Chiefs have gotten healthy. They're hot. They are dangerous. I said before this season started, my Super Bowl pick was the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Now that the Chiefs have gotten healthy, as much as I love Lamar Jackson, I am sticking with my pick of the Kansas City Chiefs coming out of the AFC. I got to. Because there is no team in football. Now that could change. I'll get there in a minute. There is no team in football that can stick with these guys. It's just not. And their defense has improved greatly over the last month. Remember a couple of shows ago, Terrell Suggs had gotten released from Arizona and said he wanted to go to Baltimore, would only go to Baltimore. Kansas City scooped him up. You think he gave Andy Reid any pushback? Hell no. Because he sees a team with an offense that he's never seen before, that he's ever been a part of as far as teammates, and he sees a path to the Super Bowl. Kansas City Chiefs are dangerous. Now, if they win this game, and New England, who plays home to Miami, loses, then the Kansas City Chiefs would vault into that second seed and a bye week. Now, should both teams win, which I think New England will beat Miami, then Kansas City has the 3 seed, New England has the 2 seed, and all that does is set up a rematch in the second round against New England in Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. So, yes, I have the Chiefs beating the Chargers. I have the Patriots beating the Dolphins. Chicago at Minnesota, doesn't matter. Minnesota can't improve on their seeding any. They're the 6th seed. They're locked in. No need to play any starters. So I wouldn't be surprised. I'm picking the Bears to win this game because the Vikings, they can't. There's no win or lose on this on them playing any of their starters. Another game that doesn't matter, Falcons at Tampa Bay. Jameis Winston, if he throws 2 more picks, will be the first quarterback to ever throw 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions in a season. I mean, be that as in may, I think Tampa Bay will win this game. New Orleans at Carolina, big game for New Orleans because the New Orleans Saints could also possibly be a number 1 seed. Right now, they sit at number 3. And yesterday, they were working out Antonio Brown. I believe the Saints really want to sign Antonio Brown, but we all know if you sign him, he's probably going on the commissioner's exempt list for that case, that sexual assault case that he has pending. Now, if he don't, let me tell you something right now. If he does not go on the commissioner's exempt list and he is a member of the New Orleans Saints, with him and the best wide receiver in football on the other side, who is Michael Thomas, and you just signed Jackrabbit Jenkins, who the Giants let go for the dumbest fucking reason possible. If that happens, the New Orleans Saints, the only offense I could see being better is Kansas City. You put AB with Michael Thomas, with Drew Brees, with Alvin Kamara, with Jared Cook, with Ted Ginn Jr., who can still take the top off of a defense, the Saints will come out of the NFC. Period. End of story. I don't give a damn what seed they are. If they can have Antonio Brown on their team, it's over in the NFC. Period. It's a fucking wrap. I don't care. I don't give a damn about San Francisco's defense, who's gotten torched in 2 of the last 3 weeks. The only chance San Francisco would have is if that defensive line just gives Drew Brees pure hell, which is possible. But me, I'm of the belief if Antonio Brown can suit up for the New Orleans Saints just through this playoff run, it's a wrap. As far as who's coming out of the NFC to go to the Super Bowl, it's a wrap. So I do think the Saints will beat the Panthers. Redskins at Cowboys. Cowboys somehow are still mathematically alive to win the division. Don't know how that is. I thought the Eagles would have the tiebreaker over them because they won the second head-to-head matchup. But they ain't going to the playoffs any fucking way, so it is what it is. They'll beat the Redskins, but guess what? The Eagles are going to beat the Giants. So those are my predictions for that game. Raiders at Broncos. Denver will win. We'll close out the season strong. Arizona at LA. Boy, the Rams are pretty disappointed. I don't know what to think of that game because I think the Rams may have mailed it in. I'm going to pick the Cardinals to win that game. Colts at Jaguars. Jaguars will be firing Doug Marrone at the end of that game probably. I'm going to pick the Colts. Baltimore at Pittsburgh. Now, here's where things get dicey. Baltimore has already said they're not playing any of their starters. This is going to be the Robert Griffin, Gus Edwards show, and you might not even see Gus Edwards. Pittsburgh's quarterback situation is garbage. I've said all season that despite how over their heads Pittsburgh was playing, because they have a great coach, that it would not last. I stand by that. I still actually think Baltimore is going to win this game. And even if Pittsburgh wins, If Kansas City, now there's another 4:25 game, which is Tennessee at Houston. Tennessee controls their destiny, right? If they win, they're in, right? They're playing at Houston. Houston has the division locked up, right? The only thing that Houston would have to play for, the reason why Deshaun Watson or Nuke Hopkins or Fuller or anybody else would play tomorrow would be if the Chiefs lose to the Chargers, because they would be able to advance from the number 4 seed where they're at. They'd be able to advance up to the number 3 seed because they have the head-to-head win against Kansas City. I don't believe that is going to happen. I believe by the time 4:25 comes around, the Chiefs will have handled their business against the Chargers, and there'll be no reason for Houston to play any of their starters. Thus, Tennessee will take advantage. They will win, and they will get in. Did you follow all of that? And then the game that everybody wants to see, the Sunday night game with the NFC West and possible number 1 seed in the NFC on the line, the San Francisco 49ers at the Seattle Seahawks. As you know, the Seattle Seahawks have brought back beast mode in this biatch. Marshawn Lynch is back. Don't know how much of a difference that is going to make. I'm still going to go with the San Francisco 49ers. I hate to bet against Russell Wilson, but the Seahawks have gotten a little banged up the last couple of weeks. Now, 3 weeks ago, I thought Russell Wilson had weapons like he never had before. You know, he had never had a receiving core as deep as it was. Josh Gordon, he's suspended. That sucks. Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, you know, can you depend on DK Metcalf? You know, Hollister, can you depend on him? I mean, I'm going with the 49ers to win. And I believe their defense has something to prove, because while the first 12 games of the season, their defense looked like gangbusters, but they have been smoked in the past couple of weeks. New Orleans lit them up. The Rams lit them up. You know, they couldn't stop the Falcons on the last play of the game. That cost them a game. But I'm going with San Francisco. So those are my predictions. Those are my predictions for Week 17. I mean, it's the final regular season week of football already. Damn it. 7 hours of commercial-free football. I'm not going to see my Denver Broncos again till the preseason. Well, we shall see what happens. My final playoff call. Again, the playoffs have been set in the NFC for, I would say, about a week now. Like I said 6 weeks ago, I think I saw the 6 teams in the NFC, how I think everything is going to finish. I think you're going to see San Francisco number 1. You're going to see Green Bay number 2. You'll see New Orleans number 3. You'll see the Eagles number 4. You'll see Seattle number 5. Minnesota is already locked into 6. In the AFC, Baltimore's already locked up home field advantage. You'll see New England at number 2. Kansas City at number 3. You'll see Houston at number 4. Buffalo's locked in at number 5. And you'll see Tennessee at number 6. So, you know, ain't nothing to it but to do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. And, you know, with that being said, wet a buzzer, wet a buzzer, wet a buzzer! Oh man, I'm gonna do my best, my damnedest to get at you guys before the new year. I'm very busy. I've been a very busy guy. I was in a Christmas play last week. Of course, we just had Christmas, and now I'm gearing up for this New Year's Eve skit at St. Paul's Baptist Church on Creighton Road in Eastern Henrico. And I just want everybody, just in case I'm not able to get back to you guys before Wednesday, I would just like to say happy, safe New Year from your boy Brandon Brevon Towns. This has been another episode of Sports Plus Life. I'm going to get into a lot deeper things. Particularly, that's one of my goals for next year, because I don't do New Year's resolutions. I think they're stupid. They're things that are broken by February. But I'm going to definitely get into deeper topics in regards to the life issues. I'll have more guests as we're going to do our thing. And my goal is to be on YouTube Live, and we're going to do the damn thing. God willing, and this show is only going to grow. I'm going to be real with you. I don't have a lot of people who listen right now, but that'll change. I have faith, and for one, I just love to do this. I love to do this. And, as the show grows, if I offend anybody with the stuff that I say out of my mouth, tough. I don't care. Just because it's my opinion. And I'm not saying anything to offend anybody. Just if you take it like that, I'm not even going to say my bad. I'm going to say, leave your comment. But anyway, this has been another episode of Sports Plus Life. This is the 60th episode. This is your boy, Brandon Brevon Towns. I will see you guys later. Don't hesitate to hit that subscription button. Don't hesitate to leave a comment in the box. I'm out. Peace.